My student Tim went from $0 to $98,000 last month with his dropshipping brand as a complete beginner who has only been in my program for around 3 months. So today we're going to talk to him about how he found his winning product, how he was able to scale it up, and we're even going to show his ad account on day one of making a few sales to now today where he's doing over $5,000 a day in sales. And you get to see the full scaling strategies, what he did with his website, his ad creatives, all of it, so that if you are in a similar spot to where he was a few months ago, you know exactly what steps to take to get to $5,000 a day as well. So I'd love to start, Tim, with you talking about what you've been able to do over the last 30 days with your store. Have you been doing one product, multiple products? And yeah, what platform has been working the best for you so far?
Right. So over the past 30 days, we've done just at 100K. And it's mainly one product. We have found a winner, but it's not really contributing to this. And we are scaling it over on Facebook.
That's awesome to see. Yeah, a little over 100K. And then, yeah, can you show me yesterday? It looks like you hit your first 5K day, and you've been scaling this product, I know, for the last couple of months. Have done well into the six figures of this product and are still really chugging along. So we're going to break down all the numbers, but I'd love to know, since starting this, like, how has your life changed? Like, did you even believe this was possible in the first place when you started? Like, where kind of were you when you first started working with us?
So very long story short, I kind of dabbled in the whole dropshipping thing like 3 or 4 years ago. I dabbled, I mean like a week or two, didn't work. And it always really was in the back of my mind. It kind of bothered me until this year. I decided going to make it work. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make this work. And started doing some research and ended up joining the course. 3-4 months later, this is where we are.
Yeah, I mean, it's really great to see. So this was the first program you were ever in. So before you joined, I'm assuming you were just complete beginner. You said you only had a week into it, so hadn't even really learned the basics or fundamentals. You had to get that down first?
Yeah. So there was about a 2-month period earlier this year where I was just soloing it. I tested, I tested 6-7 products maybe.
And what happened with those?
Just nothing. And after I joined this, I seen why nothing happened.
Yeah. So what was kind of the difference between your tests when you were solo versus after you joined the program? Like, what did you actually change?
Everything. I mean, I was just, the problem with not having a one-on-one person that knows exactly what to look for, exactly what to do, saying, change this, do that. I was relying heavily on YouTube videos, which can work. The problem is when you finish one section, then you have to wait for, the guy to post another video or do this or do that. And it did not going to work. So I decided this is going to work. I am just going to pick one guy out of these YouTubers. I'm going to pick one guy and just go all in and force it to work. And that is how we ended up here.
That's awesome. That really is great to hear. And was there anything in particular with the program that helped you scale and help you make these changes? Because I heard a little bit about how, helping you choose the right product. So was there a specific element where you're like, wow, if I didn't have this, I'd probably still be stuck in the same place, and this made a big difference for me?
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of hard to nail down one thing in particular that I was doing wrong because everything I was doing was wrong.
Yeah.
But I've had coaches in the past, and the difference between having somebody that knows exactly what to do, saying yes or no, and not just a generalized instruction manual, but looking over your store, your ads, your products, all these things, saying yes and no, it just makes a world of difference. Getting to this level, at this speed, I never thought was possible. For sure not at this speed. I thought this would probably take a year if I'm lucky, maybe 2. Just being realistic, but 3 months.
Yeah, and I think that's a really realistic approach. I mean, to be completely green at a certain point, just 2 months. Yeah, I would say that is a very realistic timetable. About a year, 2 years is what it would take if you were going solo, even if you do join a coaching program still with most programs, because like you said, you don't get a ton of one-on-one support. It's more general information. You still have to figure it out. Yeah, I would say 1 year is typically what you would see if you stay consistent to it with the right strategies. But yeah, great to see that within 3 months it did happen. But I'm curious, obviously it did take a little bit of time. So was this the first product you tested with us? Was this like the 5th? I'd love to know, like, how did you get to this winning product specifically?
So this is not the first one. I think this is maybe the 5th one with you guys. So in total, it's the, 13th or so product. It was just, at the time, we had just had a baby.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you. There was this product that she was like, oh, we have to have this in case of this. And my sister said the same things because she just had a baby. And I was like, huh, interesting. Went on Amazon. Yeah. I seen these guys are doing some numbers like $500-600 a month. So anyway, I shot Steve a message about it, and he said, yeah, give it a shot. There wasn't much on any ad spy tools about it. So anyway, it ended up working, ended up sticking. And
that's awesome. Yeah, you thought outside the box. It was a product. It was an actual problem that you guys had. So you knew the understanding of the target audience inside and out, what the pain points were. So that definitely separates you as well, being someone that is in that target audience. So I'm sure that helps with the marketing side. And yeah, not being a mass available product, there's a lot of interesting ways you could scale because it's just so untapped. So that's really awesome to see. But you also did do your previous validation, so all of the criteria was met beforehand. So I'd love, before we reveal the ad accounts and like what happened on the first couple of days and how we scaled that, which we'll get into because that's going to be really valuable for everyone. I'd love to know, how are you kind of balancing your time right now? Because obviously, like you said, you're a dad, assuming also had a job at the same time. So how was that like, of balancing having the dropshipping store while also doing these other things?
Yes, I'm a dad, and I also run a roofing company with me and my brother. I'm at the point with the roofing company where I'm mainly just sales. That being said, starting out, it was just any free time during the day. I started my meetings during the day typically start about 8 o'clock. So at the time I was already like tapped for time. I just have to get up at 5. So get up at 5, put a couple of hours of work in. As soon as I'm done with my job, get back at it, go to sleep, and repeat. And that went on for about a month and a half before I made my first sale, a month and a half after I joined.
Yeah.
So, and as far as where we are now, as far as time, still pretty much the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So how much time would you say you're right now putting into your dropshipping store, actually running it day to day?
I would say on average 3.5-ish hours, maybe 4. Some days a little more, some days a little less, because I don't have a regular just 9-to-5 job, but probably average 3 to 4 hours a day.
Yeah, so like 3-4 hours. So yeah, nothing too crazy, kind of like a part-time gig almost. And what are you kind of focusing that time on right now? Now that you're at the point where you're at $100,000 a month, I'm sure you want to scale beyond that. So yeah, what kind of are you focusing on right now with the coach and next plan to scale beyond this?
Kind of just the same thing that took me from like that first sale to where we are now, which was there's a million different things that I wanted to do, wanted to try, wanted to test, but I knew, and Steve kept saying, it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. I was like, all right, what's the numbers game?
Totally.
Just more of what's working. So not that I'm always split testing this and that and trying, new approaches, but the thing that's been working is just a lot more of the same thing. I just hired a video editor. I think I may have to hire 2 video editors, currently doing about 30 to 50 ads a week.
That's awesome.
And I'm hoping to hire 2 more video editors, and that should double my current output.
And that makes the most sense. I know people try to overcomplicate things and add new complexities to it, but I always think that simple scales the best, and just double down on what does work. And I think that's one of the different aspects of our program that we really hyper focus on: split testing, trying new things out with your offer, your website, same thing, the ad creatives, the concepts, the variations. And yeah, like you said, most people that scale to this level are not building a team and testing 30 to 50 new ads a week. Like, that is something that takes a layer of sophistication, and I really love that you're doing that, because that can replace yourself eventually. And yeah, if you are going to scale and you want to do 6 figures every single month, it is creatives over, oh, I need a fancy media buying strategy. That's going to be the thing that carries me, which rarely is ever the case. If you have good creatives, it doesn't matter what you're really doing on the media buying side. But I love to use that as a segue to kind of see what you've been doing on the Facebook ad side. I would love to see the first couple of days, how you started to scale, and we can break down the whole process, because I think for a lot of people, when they do get a winner, they have trouble identifying that or knowing what to do next. So I think that's where we can really help some people out. All right, quick timeout. I know you're getting a lot of value in this video, but if you want my fastest way to scale your dropshipping brand to $1,000 a day in the next 90 days and create amazing product pages and ads, then you need to be inside my one-on-one Bold Ecom program, where for 6 months, we will coach you one-on-one and give you group coaching to help you scale your dropshipping brand to $1,000 a day in the next 90 days. And this is the perfect environment that will push you, keep you accountable, give you the support of answering all of your questions and giving you the right guidance on what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong with your store that's preventing you from getting to $1,000 a day. And it's a lot simpler than you think once you have the right coaching and one-on-one help on your side. So if you want access to these prompts and a ton of other resources that we use, including those coaching calls and top product research tools that I'm currently using to find these winning products, then I would recommend booking a call down below with my team, and we'll see if they're the right fit to be working with you. And the best part is, if you don't hit $1,000 a day within that time frame, then we'll keep coaching you for free until you do, guaranteed. So no man or woman is left behind. All right, so this was the first few days of testing the product. So we're about 2 days in at this point, $176 spent. And yeah, you need to be able to break down your numbers and your KPIs. So we can see here, cost per link click, about $1.24, a little higher than we'd like, but when you're testing so many different ad creatives, that's gonna happen, and you'll be able to cut the fat, dial in, and put the spend on what's working. So if we scroll to the right here, I'd love to see Tim. Yeah, so we got multiple ads with different purchases. So that's great to see, especially early on. Yes, with a new product, with a winner, you're usually gonna get sales in the first couple of days or some add to carts at the very minimum. But from here, Tim, what was kind of like the next steps of scaling? I'm sure you kind of gave it more time with this campaign. But yeah, what was kind of the first days like?
So the first few days, I think we launched this with 10 to 12 different creatives. The first couple of days, we just let it sit, didn't really do much. Then after we seen this is working, we just started doing more creatives, really, and upping the budgets on what worked. These never really done a whole lot. Still at $10, $20 a day.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, can we see the next week from here? So from March 6th to, let's say, like the 13th. And I'd love to see if you had any other new campaigns that you were adding and what we did in this campaign as well. So yeah, we can see here major difference in terms of getting a lot more consistent purchases, upping the budget on the ad sets that are working. So you're vertically scaling inside of this campaign. Did you have any other campaigns also running on at the same time, if we go back? Or
No, this was actually the only campaign that ran for the first probably 2 months, I would say. And it's just an ABO, just a bunch of different ones in here.
Gotcha. So if we go to the next week then, so 13th to 20th, I'd love to see the data. So we have clearly about 5 different ad groups that are scaling. We're vertically scaling them up. We're letting them spend consistently. And we see here, yeah, it's just working. It's just printing money. So as you said, only way of really scaling this was vertically, and you kind of consolidate everything in just one campaign, it looks like.
Correct. Yep.
So let's get into other ways that you scaled. So you said after month 2. So over this last month, obviously you did 100K. It was one of your best months. So what kind of changed there?
The biggest thing that changed there was actually 2 things. One, again, just more of what works, more creatives, just a higher volume. The one thing we did change strategy-wise is we went from ABOs to CBO DCTs. It's like the dynamic creative.
All right, so yeah, these are all the campaigns over the last 30 days. So definitely have now expanded from consolidating to, yeah, we got tons of new campaigns. And can you kind of break down what you were trying here? Or was it, a new campaign for each new creative, or were you isolating creatives and scaling them? What was kind of going on here?
Right, so each one of these campaigns has one ad set in it, and that ad set has 5 creatives in it. So yeah, just
mainly you were just isolating winning ads, putting them into their own scaling campaign at a CBO.
Correct. Yeah, and we started testing at $20 per ad, which was $100 a day. So we started testing off the back with a higher budget, which definitely helped. And at this point, it was pretty much just anything that I tried was just sticking.
Awesome.
About 7 out of 10 ads turned out to be profitable. So
that's great. So just to kind of recap what you did here, you started with the testing campaign, consolidated everything, let that scale. You vertically scaled up the ad groups that were profitable with the ads that were profitable. And then eventually now this last month, you've isolated those winning ads into their own scaling CBOs, $100 a day, like you said, a DCT. And you've continually been testing new creatives as well to have more of these campaigns that are scaling those winning creatives. So yeah, that's a really awesome process. I'd love to know then on the creative side, like how have you had so many winning ads? Like what's kind of your process there for figuring out what angles you want to try, coming up with new ad ideas? Because for a lot of people, yeah, they get one winning ad, but they don't know what to do afterwards.
Yeah. So Steven, one thing that he said was if you're selling a fire extinguisher, start by showing the fire. I think that's how it goes. So with this product, it was one of those things where a lot of the creatives, as far as like the edited part, was pretty similar. So the main thing that changed was the intro, or not really the hook, but about a 30 to 1 minute video showing the problem and showing what happens when you don't have this, right? So just finding videos like that wherever. And then one thing that really helped scale up was, as far as volume, was using viral ecom ads just for clips, and then using all those clips, editing everything together and pairing those with different hooks. Yeah, a lot more of what was working.
Yeah. So like you said, throwing in new clips to already proven ads, throwing in new hooks to already proven ads once you discover what concepts are working. And have these all been just like the same kind of concept of like a problem solution? Have you tried other concepts? What's kind of been working on that side?
Yeah, we tried a lot of different concepts. One thing that we found worked the best was just a problem solution ad. And we found that maybe 3 weeks into this product, and that's just kind of what worked. So that's pretty much what we've been doing since, and it's just been working pretty much consistently.
Yeah, no, that's great. So in terms of like when you first tested with the first initial ads compared to the ads you're making today, what would you say is kind of the difference?
Well, one thing is that it doesn't take me a week and a half to create an ad anymore is the biggest thing. Just everything got better. It got a lot quicker. I had templates for a lot of things, scripts already written out for a lot of things. So at this point, it's pretty much just changing out, the first couple clips, changing up the hooks, changing up the bodies a little bit, just making variations of what's already working and just mixing and matching a whole lot of stuff.
Exactly. No, it's as simple as that. Just got to mix and match, Frankenstein, try out new things and find more ad winners from that. So awesome. I would say the final thing I'd love to get into real quick is on the website side. How's your product page evolved? Because I'm sure it's not been the same from when you first tested day one compared to where it's at today. So I'd love to know, what have you been split testing and doing over there?
So first of all, it's just extremely basic, extremely simple. The desktop version of this website is still like the second draft maybe ever. So this is it. Just extremely simple. Copy has been everything here has been split tested, but just so starting out, I seen all these YouTube videos is super complicated, fancy looking websites, and I was like, I really need that, right? So I built what I thought was it was very good, all the colors, all the cool stuff. And Steven came in. This is when I first joined the program. Steven came in and just said, no, just don't even try to fix what this is. Just go on to something else. So yeah, I mean, just black and white, simple, very simple text, very simple GIFs.
Super simple.
I mean, I was quite frankly, I was just shocked. I was like, really? Like, this is what you want to try?
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. It's super simple to the point. Like you talk about the problem, like you really are nailing down different problems that can happen and how this can be useful. Cause it's just such a great problem solving product. But I love the fear angle, all these GIFs. I know this is blurred for everyone on YouTube. Sorry about that, but it's a very simple website. It's just 3 sections of a description talking about problems, and then we have transition into why you need the product. Good GIFs that also visually show the different problems that can happen to you, and why you would need it. It's essentially it. And then some social proof at the bottom, and then the how to use section. So I know, Tim, I'll let you take over, but it seems like it was essentially it. And then maybe split testing the offer a bit to find out what works with this layout.
Yeah, so of course the offer has been split tested. A lot of different stuff has been split tested, but this is essentially some of the copy changed a bit, but this is pretty much it. And I was most websites I see are a lot more complex than this, really. I mean, this would take 5 minutes to recreate today. And I'm still somewhat amazed at it that it's performing so well. But of course, images have been split. I've done everything with this image, split testing it, and this is always outperforms. So
that's great. No, that's obviously there's the traditional theory behind what you should do, but you got to test everything, and sometimes theory isn't necessarily going to be 100% right. So I'd love to see finally, if you can go back to the analytics, what's your conversion rate on this store so that people can realize that, that's crazy. So 4.81%, nearly 5% on a $70 product. Your website's making $3.50 per visitor. That's an insane performance. Probably the biggest reason why this all worked out. And it's from that simple, basic product page that just has a great offer and really sells on the fear. So yeah, it really shows what you can accomplish, and you don't have to overthink things. It's not about the design. It's about, do you have good copy, good offer, good use cases. So awesome to see.
This doesn't have to be in the video, but I will say this is the first like one-on-one dropshipping thing I've done, but in other aspects of business, I've had coaches, and every time there was a big leap, financially or in business in my life, it's always been with a coach, and it's always been a little bit of uncertainty. And I watch most of the coaching calls that get recorded and put on the course. I watch most of them, and I think a big thing that I caught myself several times, and this is something I've learned over a lot of coaches, but just not questioning. Like, for example, when I first had this website, I was like, oh, this is good, this is great. Put all this time into it. I think it looks excellent. And like I said, Steve came in and said, nope, none of it. And I was like, that hurts. But over the next day or two, I just went all in, and it ended up working.
Yeah, I think that's a great explanation right there. Just like kind of putting your pride aside, realizing you don't know everything, and just like leverage the experience of other people who have done this process so many times over and over and over again. So I'm glad it's worked out. I can't wait to see where you scale from here, Tim. But I think that's everything we want to do for this video. That was great.